Hi everybody, welcome back. I'm Dorothy. I am a professional astrologer. You can find me on the web at nhastrologer.com. There you can contact me if you would like your own private sessions. And I'm teaching classes online. You can connect with me there as well. And Facebook, Dorothy Morgan Astrologer. So today what I want to do here is, and this is a new format for me. I've been watching and I've been trying to figure out if I want to do the whole year for each zodiac sign, or if I wanted to continue doing once a month for each zodiac sign. Now that is a huge amount of hours. I can't do it anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 3-month forecast for each zodiac sign. So January, February, March, or basically the winter months, the winter season, and I will work on that for you. And if you want to see the first part of the winter, you go back and you watch the December forecast for your zodiac sign. Okay, so this intro will be in every video, just so you know. Watch the time. If you want to go watch another one, you can skip past this point. All right, thank you for watching, and let me get started. All right, let's begin for Libra. So what we have going on to begin with is the full moon in Cancer on January 4th. It's in your 10th house of career, social status, how people see you out in the world. So that means that if you have Cancer there, that you have some flipped energy, so to speak. Because Cancer at the top of the chart is how we are out in society and our career, but the Cancer energy is how we care and nurture for others and for ourselves and feel safe and secure. So with the full moon in that area of your chart, those who are Libra or have Libra rising, this energy here just means that your focus is in your career sector very early here in the month of January with this full moon. So you're being made aware of either work is dominating your life or home is dominating your life, one or the other. And there needs to be a little more balance brought back to your life in that regard. We also have 4 planets in Capricorn right now, and those are in your 4th house of home and family. So you do want to stabilize things at home, but it's hard to figure out exactly what we're doing with this. How are we stabilizing things? Because again, work is getting, and your career is getting a lot of attention these days. So it's going to be a little bit of a balancing act. On January 5th, Mercury and Venus move into your 5th house, and that is in the sign of Aquarius. And so with Mercury and Venus out of the 4th house, the pressure is not off, it's just the focus has changed. That 5th house is about where we're creative, it's our children, it's how we express ourselves through the things that we're passionate about. It's also lovers and, you know, just hobbies, recreation, things like that. When Venus is moving through there, then that gives us an opportunity to see how we value all of these different things, some or all of them, what I just mentioned. Mercury moving through there from January 5th all the way to the 21st, when it goes retrograde, will be helps you to communicate what it is that you need. But before we get to that retrograde, I want to get to the new moon that's 0 degrees of Aquarius, and that is in your 5th house as well. Look, at my notes are behind my computer screen. All right. So with that new moon at 0 degrees of Aquarius in your 5th house on January 20th, this definitely will inspire a new way for you to be creative and something new that you can do for a hobby. This is a great place to have this creative self-expression for yourself. Okay, that new moon is about setting new goals in regards to Aquarius energy. And again, that Aquarius energy is about new, being independent, thinking outside the box. So you have some unique energy in this 5th house to begin with. And then Mercury and Venus are moving through that sector as well. So there's a lot of highlights going on in how you're being creative these days. And if that's not an interest of yours, it could be, if you have children, that your children are a focus for this month. And that's what that would be for you. This is more in the Aquarius energy, so stay tuned. So when we have this energy starting on the 21st of January, Mercury will be stationary to move retrograde, so in a couple days on either side of the 21st of January, as well as a couple days on either side of February 11th when it turns when it's stationary to direct motion. Those days are key days. Write it, rewind and write it down Those are days where there's not much can move forward. Our communications tend to get stalemate at that point, especially when Mercury is retrograde, stationary to retrograde. All right, don't allow things to don't try to push stuff. Go into this Mercury retrograde with your list of to-dos and accomplish things that needed to be accomplished that have not been completed yet. That's the way we use a retrograde. Don't be fearful of starting new things. Just complete what you've already got going, and you won't have time to start anything new. Most of us have a lot of things that are undone, incomplete. All right, so on February 3rd, let's move on to February. We have that full moon in Leo, which will be in your 11th house. And the 11th house means, with the Leo moon, first off, that is all about highlighting, again, it sounds like the 5th house, but this energy that we're passionate about, what we love, what we have our heart into, how we're creative. That's what Leo energy is about. It's in the 5th, it's in your 11th house though, and so that's your friendships, the groups you belong to, the social environments that you have yourself, you put yourself in, hopes and dreams. A full moon in the 11th house is really nice because you're able to see, it helps to illuminate what your hopes and dreams are if you're not aware of them completely yet. Now, we also have the Sun in Aquarius and Jupiter in Leo in an opposition on February 6th, and that highlights your 5th house and 11th houses as well. So, what are you passionate about in your groups? And what is a cause for you? Where do you want to make a difference in the world around you? It's not personal, it's global. That's what these oppositions are about right now. On February 6th and 7th, we have Venus and Pluto in an easy aspect with each other. And I'm mentioning this because this just is a nice little bit in the middle of this 3-month period where these two are at a sextile, and Venus and Pluto. Venus is our relationships, Pluto is the transformation within the dynamic of the relationship because Venus is there. So if you have a relationship that needs to go to a new level, then this is an easy way for this transit will easily help that to happen. Now, it can go either direction, that's the thing. If you're in a relationship and it's time for this relationship to be over, you can transition out of it easily. Being thankful for what you had and the time that you had together. No built-up karma. And if you're just new in a relationship or whatever and you're looking to take it to the next level, this is a fantastic transit for that. It's perfect for it. Okay, excellent. So use that. I love that transit. I'm going to pencil that into my calendar. See what's going on for me. I don't know yet. On February 11th, I haven't done my own chart yet. On February 11th, Mercury will be going direct, like I said, so it is stationary at that point. So make sure that you don't push anything that doesn't already have movement and flow in and of itself. Don't be pushing anything around that time period. The new moon on February 18th is at 29 degrees of Aquarius. So this is the second new moon in the sign of Aquarius. The first one on the 20th of January was at 0. This one on the 18th of February is at 29 degrees. That just means that the final sign of a zodiac, final degree of a zodiac sign. That's about letting go. Even though this is a new moon, and the new moons are about setting goals, new intentions. Right now, for a few hours until the moon moves into the next zodiac sign, which is Pisces. So it'll be a few hours till it moves in there. We need to be letting go of whatever is giving us a hard time. You know where the stresses are in your own life, so make sure you work on that and let these things go. The moon is void, of course, at 29 degrees. So the thing is, we have to wait until the moon goes to the next zodiac sign before we can set goals. But we'll be creative and unique in our approach, which will certainly help move things along, because that's what that Aquarius energy is about. Also on the 18th of February, the sun does enter the sign of Pisces in the evening. So that means it's just time for us to be flexible now. We're in the mutable sign of winter or summer, depending on where you live. And so that just means that there is the possibility and the potential for us to shift and change. This is not hard energy at all, but we're shifting and changing and moving into something else. Pisces energy has no form of its own, but it has no limits either. So we can all use that Pisces energy in one way or another. And your Pisces energy is, again, in that is in that sixth house, and that is the area of your daily routine, your health, your work, your co-workers. What are you going to do with that? The sun moving through your sixth house. So whether you work in a spiritual business or a business that's related to water, music, whatever, going with the flow. Go with the flow. The sun in Pisces moving through your sixth house, which will highlight your daily routine and your work for a whole month. On the 19th of February, Mars enters his own sign of Aries. On the 20th, Venus enters Aries, and they both move into your seventh house of partnerships and relationships, your one-to-one partnerships and relationships. Now with Libra, with Venus and Libra, Venus and Mars in that seventh house, which is naturally ruled by Libra, you are focusing in on a relationship. On the 22nd, Venus and Mars conjunct in that seventh house. This is the dynamic of this is like a hot new relationship, and it's just something that's hot and fast and can burn out easily. But it can be very sexual, very physical. It is the energy of the masculine and the feminine. So it is very attractive, but it does not necessarily mean it is lasting. But it can be fun while it lasts. However that looks for you. On the 23rd of February, the sun in Pisces makes a square to Saturn in Sagittarius. There's a little challenge here, but I mention this just because it can help us stabilize certain things in our lives. And what do we need stable? Well, it just depends. That sun is over in Pisces, so that sun is, where is it? The sixth house to the third house. For you, Libra. My chart's right here. I have to look. I have to look around my notes to see it. I just don't have it set up perfectly. You can tell I don't have a studio here, right? This is my office. Anyways, the sun square Saturn. It's a mutable square, so this is an easily movable square. That just means any challenges that come up around the 23rd of February easily work through. They're challenges, but they're not difficult challenges because they are mutable. So we find ourselves easily able to shift into whatever it is that we're looking into, or whatever is going on that we need to shift into or out of. All right? All right. Now February ends with the Sun and Neptune conjunct, and that's on February 25th in your sixth house. Again, that is the sixth house is all about what your daily routine is. Your daily routine is kind of up in the air right now. So there's a little bit of focus on that, and the focus on that wants you just to pay attention to the details. Not always easy. Pisces there, okay? Again, Pisces does not know boundaries. But what we could do is we could join a spiritual group, we could meditate, we could do something regularly that is Pisces related. On March 5th, we do have the full moon in Virgo in your 12th house. That's that opposite of where we just were. All right? Full moon in the 12th house can reveal through others our hidden strengths and weaknesses. It's the internal you. It's the things we hide from ourselves. It's institutions. You might have to spend a little time at a hospital for somebody. Not necessarily yourself. You might not. But I like the part mainly about our hidden strengths and weaknesses, because when the moon is full in that area, things come up that we need to focus on. But it's usually through someone else. It's never about self. We learn about ourselves through others, and that's the transit of this area. So it will definitely do that. Let me advance my notes a little bit more. On March 10th, we have a fire trine, another fire trine between Mars and Jupiter. And this is all about what you want and where you're creative and how you want to express that. That Leo energy is passion and fire. That Mars and Aries is also passion and drive. So what do you want for yourself? So it comes from the relationship part of the chart up to the 11th house where Jupiter is, and that is the area of your goals, your wishes, your hopes, your dreams. So you might be able to really, start a new project at this point in time. Sounds exciting. Now, we also have on March 11th, and the very next day, Mars and Uranus make a conjunction, and they are in the 7th house. Now, the 7th house, There is not in the 7th house. My apologies. So on March 11th, Mars and Uranus make a conjunction, and that is, it is. I've been at this for a few hours. I could tell you each video is an hour and a half, and I'm at Libra. Guess how long I've been sitting here. It is the 7th house. So there is something going on within the dynamic of your partnerships and your relationships. You need a new relationship. You need something in your relationship must give you the freedom and independence that you're looking for. When Mars and Uranus conjunct, they can be volatile, and it can be dangerous, and it can be very stressful. So if you're not getting energy out, if you're not saying or doing things that you need to do, and you're just sitting around waiting for something to happen, then it will happen to you. And we don't like that. So take action where you know action needs to be taken in regards to any relationship or partnership. Okay? Please do that. You will be glad you did. On the 14th, Saturn will station and then move retrograde for the next 4 months. And that will be in your 3rd house of communication. And 3rd house is also our local neighborhood, our siblings, again, how we communicate. So there's something shifting and changing here in your life. When Saturn moves through a house, it's always about a big change. It's a slow change. It usually takes Saturn 2.5 years to move through each sector, approximately. So Saturn retrograde in this sector just says that you're really learning how to speak up, or how to say what is important for you to say without lots of disruptions around you. You're learning how to communicate. Doesn't mean you don't know how, but you're learning how to do it now with who you are now. Venus enters Taurus on March 17th, and that is in your 8th house, which is all kinds of different things. That 8th house is all about transformation, the things that we own. It's outside resources. And so when Venus enters that energy, you know, we're going to get to look at this stuff, and we're going to get to really decide what it is that we want to hang on to and what we want to get rid of. That's what that transit of Venus and Taurus through your 8th house can produce. All right, the final thing I'm going to talk about, so really be present. Let me look at how much time I have left. It's hard to see with these glasses. I have 4 minutes left before the video boots me. So let's be present for this one. I want you to look at this. This is a total solar eclipse, all right? It's on March 20th. It's a new moon eclipse. It's at the final degree of Pisces. So just like the final degree of Aquarius that I spoke about earlier, this eclipse is at the final degree of Pisces, the very last degree of the zodiac. This is a culmination of everything. This is just before the astrological new year. This is just before the spring equinox. Is it the equinox? Yes. Sorry. I've been at this for a while. What we get with this is, like, it's very important that when we have this eclipse, 29 degrees of Pisces, we must just look at what the whole year has been for us. You know, we have a chance to go over, let me read this to you, I have this written out. We have a chance to go over what our lives have been about over the last year, gather our thoughts, right? So we can manifest something that is new, that matches who we are now. This is what I want you to do, who we are now, all right? The energy of this is in your 6th house, and then it immediately moves into the partnership part of your chart. So there's a dual purpose going on here, and a lot of these transits today that I'm talking about. So on this solar eclipse on March 20th, and I'll probably do a separate video about this. I want you just to focus on what that culmination, what has everything come together to show you this year. And you define that, and you say, okay, now what's next? And you move on to what's next. All right. We're in the big snowstorm right now, and we might lose power. So I'm going to say namaste. Thank you. I hope I don't lose power. I got 5 more to go. Namaste.